All right, so today we're going to work on the hand, this hand, and the table and chair. So this way, maybe we can finish the mug, maybe. So for the hand, I have burnt sienna, yellow ochre, a bit of burnt umber, and white. Now, if you don't have burnt sienna, or if the burnt sienna you're using is not Winsor & Newton, because I use Winsor & Newton, use red. Cadmium red light will work too for skin tone, because this is just cadmium red light and yellow ochre and white. So I'm going to mix for now. This is just a small, really small area. It's not a big, it's not a portrait. So we can just use simple colors. We don't have to work on too many colors to create the skin tone. All right, so I'm doing a first layer. I mixed burnt sienna and yellow ochre and white, and this is more like a medium tone. Round brush, small round brush, good small round brush. I'll let it dry. Now I'm going to add more white, a little bit more yellow ochre to break that orangey color. And I'm going to highlight this part of the hand. Fingers. I'm going to go to midway knuckles, because I want the fingers to look like they're bending down, bending a little bit, so the hand will not look too flat, or the fingers, I should say. Just let it dry a bit and I'll come back. Right, so while this is lifting a bit, I can see that the paint is lifting, so I'm going to let it dry very well. Meanwhile, I'm going to take a little bit of burnt umber, add it to the skin tone that I have already, and I'm going to darken this part a bit. I think this is a little bit too dark. Okay. There. That's a good mid-tone. If the light is coming from the right, part of the fingers are going to be in shadow. So the left part of the fingers are going to be more in the shadow part. So that will make them look round. All right, that's good. I'm going to take this a little bit further in. And while I'm going further in, I'm going to add a little bit of white. So I'll get a nice mid-tone here. So what I'm aiming for is mid-tone right here, dark on this side and light on this side, on the right-hand side. So I have a highlight on the right-hand side. This is where the light is coming from. It goes with a little bit the finger and here. And then I'm going to go mid-tone right now, here, there. So all I'm adding is more of the skin tone, less of the white. And then I'm going to take dark, which is burnt umber, simple, and add it here. So I have 3 layers of values. Easy. Just think values. I'm going to add more light or white, and I'm going to highlight this a little bit more because it's drying darker. And that is the hand. We're not going to, work too much on it. Just this is enough. It gives us exactly what we want. Just make sure where those values are intersecting or meeting, it's a soft transition, kind of. Perfect. That's all we need. Now, let's move on to the table, chair, and we'll take it from there. So for the table chair, I'm going to use raw umber and titanium buff with a bit of white. Okay. I have here raw umber, titanium buff, and a bit of titanium white. So I'm mixing right now just raw umber and titanium buff. And I'm using a flat brush or just a flat brush will do, or bright. Any size that will give you any size brush that's easy to use on the surface of this table. We're just going to take it this way, put the first layer, and we do have burnt umber as a first layer all over this surface originally. So I am just putting right now raw umber. Let's take it to here. It's a nice, beautiful ivory color, kind of warm. I didn't want the table to have too many colors because the beautiful kind of top she's wearing has an orange color, and I wanted everything else to be kind of neutral. And it's actually neutral in the picture as well, in the reference. So it is lovely. It's very nice. So first layer, I am putting raw umber, titanium buff, kind of a mid-tone, not too light, not too dark. It will dry darker. It's acrylics. Okay, now chair, same, it's wood. 2 slats in the back and another one right here. And down here. Oh, that one needs another brush. Okay, so let's do this. Now you can see that the chair, the back of the chair is kind of mixing with the back, with the ledge. So what I'm going to do is take a little bit of more raw umber and paint the ledge a little bit darker. So I have raw umber right now and titanium buff, and I am darkening the ledge a little bit so I can see the chair when I highlight it. Let's do this a bit as well. Why not? And here. All right. Now let's take more of the titanium buff, mix it again with raw umber, but more now, more titanium buff, and a little bit of white. So we get this kind of a highlight. Now, wipe my brush, and I'm going to start with the table. Light is coming from the right, so I'm going to have quite a bit of light in here. And since the light is coming from the right to the left, this mug is going to cast a shadow over the table. Her sleeve as well. So I'm not going to take the highlight all the way to the sleeve. Underneath the sleeve, her arm. Okay, good. Let it dry. I'm going to take again the same idea, white and titanium buff and a bit of raw umber. And I'm highlighting the chair, the slats. Very simple. For me to be able to control this area here, I'm going to use a round brush. I need to take a tiny bit of raw umber into my titanium buff, and I'm going to put a dark line on the side of the wooden slat, and same idea, take white with titanium buff, paint the top of this chair, not chair, slat, white. This is where you get that 3D effect. So the same, a little bit of white on top here, and just let it dry. And we're going to go back to the table, highlight the table more, the top of the table. And I think it's dry, so I can do that. I'm going to take, again, titanium buff and white. Sometimes it needs a couple of layers to get the right value. But you need to get to that right value. We need to make sure that the top of the table where I'm putting layers of paint is dry, so I don't get lifting of the paint. See, I'm avoiding the sleeve. And here we go. That's a beautiful, beautiful highlight. I think the chair is fine. I'm just going to highlight the slats of the chair are fine. I'm going to highlight just this part a little bit. And we're good. I'll wait for this layer to dry more, and if I need to highlight it more, I will do that. But for now, it looks good to me. Now we're going to highlight or dot or paint the bottom of this table. So, you know, I'm going to keep it very simple. Let's take just raw umber. It's a good color. And put it on, just kind of paint the bottom part in burnt umber. Usually these are black, but I don't want to put black in here. I don't think there's a need for that. I used before to draw all of this pencil crayon, white pencil crayon. So that's why if you see white lines, that's from the pencil crayon. Let's paint the side of the chair. Okay, round brush. It looks like it's working. Honestly, if it doesn't work, easily put, or you feel like you don't want to do this, it's you know, too much work, just put a masking tape, mask both sides, and just put a line in there. It's easy to do with masking tape. And I'm going to take a little bit of titanium buff. I don't think I'll need white. Mix titanium buff with raw umber and just kind of give these the table right here a little bit of detail, and the slats of the chair. You know, these are not the focal point. Focal point is the actual sweater, which is orange, and the dress. I'm gonna let this dry, and I'll put another layer of brown in here, and I'll take it from there after and see how it goes. It needs to dry, so the more layers I put, the darker it looks, and I want it to be dark. While this is drying, I'm going to paint the mug using Naples Yellow and Cerulean Blue. I think Naples Yellow and Cerulean Blue. I'm gonna try to mix these two and we'll see. So I'm gonna pause, mix the colors, the blue and Cerulean Blue and Naples Yellow, and see how it goes. Okay, so I have here Cerulean Blue, Naples Yellow. Let's mix them and let's see what we get. Should get that beautiful seafoam color. Yeah, I think we got it. Very close. Okay, let's do that. Cerulean Blue, Naples Yellow. I have more blue than the yellow. And let's put that, paint the mug. And also the cushion she's sitting on happens to be turquoise. Let's work on this mug a bit more. I'm changing my brush into a round one. Okay, now I'm going to go darker. So I'm going to add blue. A little bit of raw umber. A little bit more. Second layer of the blues, or the color of the mug. Handle. Very interesting. I like this handle. It's a bit different. Now I'm going to take white, put it in the blue, and usually I'm very careful with white. I don't put a strong white right away. And I'm going to start highlighting this mug. So light's coming from the left. Let's start with the handle. Handle looks like it's highlighted all the way. And start highlighting this part of the mug. Now this part is still kind of wet, which is great. I can blend my color or my values slowly. So I'm not going to push the white too much to this in to the left. Keep it here. And it looks like the white is blending too much. So I'm going to stop a bit and let it dry. Remember, we always want, it's better if we can get light, medium, dark. So I have a bit of dark in here from when I did the inside of the mug. I'm going to use it and add a little bit of a darker color. You can use orange, by the way, to make this dark, this blue. Orange is opposite blue on the color wheel, so it's a complementary color. You can mix it easily to make a darker blue. And I'm going to let it dry a bit. Meanwhile, while it's drying, I have a smaller round brush. So I'm going to take white, mix it with the blue, and I'm going to highlight the rim of the mug. Need a bit of water. That's better. I'm going to fix this part because it's, needs to adjusted to be adjusted. And since I'm using white to highlight, I think this is, oh no, it's still wet. Better not touch it right now. I'm going to adjust the rim and the mug a bit, the shape. The rim is tilting a bit to the side. I'm going to fix it. I'll push this part up right there, just like that. Okay, and take white again, mix it with blue. Put a bit of water in here so it's easy to for the brush, easy for the brush to slide. Okay, good. All right. Mug would be nice if I could highlight it, but I don't want to touch it right now. Highlight this part. I will leave it for now to dry and then I'll come back to it. Meanwhile, I'll fix this part and this part, the base of the table and the chair. And then I'm gonna pause for a minute and we'll come back. Okay, so off camera, I was fixing a bit the base of the table and the slats or the iron part of the chair. So what I did is I put masking tape and I decided to use Payne's Gray and raw umber, mix them together, put that in, and same for the table. Very simple detail. Right now what I'm going to be doing is taking a bit of raw umber mixed with a bit of titanium buff and water, so it's a bit like a glaze, and I'm glazing underneath the pot, just a shadow of the pot on the table and the mug. Now I think the mug is dry, so I'm going to try to highlight the side using white and blue, same blue I used before, but I'm adding white to it, and see how it goes. Yeah, it's good. That looks good. White is showing better. You know what? I think I'm going to use a round brush just because I have more control in a small area like this. Light, medium, medium. Let's take white. And I'm going to mix again the blue, a little bit of Naples Yellow, blue, and raw umber. And I'm going to go back in here and kind of give it a bit of a softer edge between the medium and the light. That's good. A little bit of that medium tone highlight. in this on this part inside the mug. Dry my brush. So light is coming from the left. Inside of the mug will have a highlight facing the light and dark on this side, and outside the mug will be the opposite. Light is hitting here, it would be light on the right hand side and left hand side is dark. So it's kind of opposite. Okay. And that's it. Next time, I believe in part 4, this is part 3, part 4 would work on the sweater and the dress, and it will be done. I will take a picture, send it to you, send you the picture of the this this image.